Hey, it's Barça here, and today's video I'm going to be talking about the injury crisis that is going on at Barcelona, and how Xavi should play without all of the players that are out injured. Thus far this season, nobody really got injured, but during the international break, things suddenly happened very quickly, and now we've got some important players who are not going to be match fit for a while. So make sure to stay tuned, as it's definitely a problem that deserves our attention. So, first of all, we'll talk about our defense, the area that has been affected the most by our injury problems. Jules Koundé first and foremost has a biceps femoral injury in his left hamstring that he picked up during a game with France against Austria. He will be out for a couple of weeks, so we'll probably miss him in both clashes against Inter Milan. For El Clasico, that will take place on the 16th of October, he might be match fit again, but it's not a guarantee. Apart from him, Ronald Araujo has gotten injured too, and he has a fracture of the adductor longus tendon in his right thigh. This is definitely quite a serious injury, and he'll be out for October. For the last couple of days, the big question has been whether we would opt for surgery or not. If he just recovers without surgery, he will be back in time for the World Cup with Uruguay. But if he goes for surgery, which is a safer option, then he might not play again in 2020 altogether. He has eventually chosen the latter option, which is very respectable if you know that he basically sacrifices the World Cup by doing so. So, those two, Koundé and Araujo, were basically our two best defenders that could play both at centre back and at right back. Apart from them though, Hector Bellerin has now also gotten injured. He's got difficulties with the soleus in his left leg. At the moment it's not known for how long he'll be out, but I definitely hope it won't be for too long, since Koundé and Araujo won't be able to play at right back and Sergio Roberto has just recovered from his injury as well. On Wednesday further tests will be done and then we'll know for how long it'll be. So that's all the injuries we've got in defense right now. Araujo, Koundé and Bellerin. So what does this mean for Xavi? Well, if you look at the left back position, there's not too much to worry about. For now, Jordi Alba, Alejandro Balde and Marcos Alonso are still match fit. So in October, Xavi will probably rotate a lot and use all three of them. At centre back though, it's a different story. Our only options for the coming weeks are Eric Garcia, Christensen and Gerard Piqué. So in the important games, the duo will definitely be Eric Garcia and Christensen. I think they've both been really great this far this season, and I think this is the perfect test for both of them to show what they're really made of. In less important games like the ones in La Liga against Mallorca and Celta Vigo, Xavi should also give some minutes to Piqué, as you want him to have some rhythm if Eric Garcia or Christensen would get injured. This season he's barely had any game time, and last season he did have some great performances, but over the years it's become clear that he's aging and his consistency has been declining. The biggest problem I see at centre back is the fact that we lack any fast defenders. Araujo and Koundé are both fast, but you can't say the same for Eric Garcia and Christensen, and certainly not for Piqué. So I think the Eric Garcia-Christensen duo works well, but that's their one major weak point. Lastly, at right back the only real option that we have is Sergio Roberto, depending on how serious Bellerin's injury is. This season Sergio Roberto has actually been good this far. The last couple of years he had been declining and a lot of fans wanted him out of the club, but now he can certainly come in handy. The one big problem that you would have with him though is the fact that he's not fast. And you definitely don't want to be playing against the likes of Vinicius with him at right back and two players at centre back who aren't that fast either. So ideally, Bellerin just recovers as soon as possible. With Bellerin and Sergio Roberto together, we shouldn't worry too much about the right back position. And if you had to put someone else there and Koundé is still out injured, then it would probably have to be Ousmane Dembélé. Or you play with three at the back, with Piqué, Eric Garcia and Christensen. Or Frenkie de Jong maybe. You can definitely see why this is called an injury crisis right now. In the worst case scenario, so with Bellerin out injured for some time and Koundé taking longer than expected to return, Xavi will really have to be creative when picking his backline. That was only for defense though. In midfield we're now missing Frenkie de Jong. In the beginning his injury was definitely a big scare for a lot of people, but eventually it's not that bad. He'll only be out for 1 week, so by the time club football starts again, Xavi will be able to count on him. Apart from that, there are no injuries in midfield right now, for now at least. So there's not too much to worry about, and with all the depth that we've got there, one injury wouldn't be too much of a problem, unless it's Pedri maybe. Lastly, there's our attack, and here it's Memphis who is out injured. He's injured to the hamstring and will be out for around a month. The shame is that he actually was getting in form just before he got injured, and it was looking like he would definitely have a good amount of minutes in October. Apart from him, Ousmane Dembélé got some discomfort while playing for France. But he's still training with the national team at the moment, so his injury is probably not that severe, and he should be able to play once club football starts again. So without Memphis only, we've still got a lot of depth in attack. In the striker position, Xavi can go for Lewandowski, and on the wings he's got Dembélé and Rafinha. Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres can play in all three positions in attack really, so Xavi has still got a lot of options for his forward line, and unless there happen any more injuries, there's just like a midfield not too much to worry about. So that's all the injuries that we've got right now. Apart from our defense, it's actually not that bad. In defense, our options are certainly quite limited at the moment, and for Christensen and Eric Garcia, October will be a big test. This also makes you realize why it's so important to have good squad depth, and this is one of the reasons Xavi wanted all of these signings to be made. Even with 4 or 5 injuries, we can still play with a good team. The only big thing that cannot happen right now is that Eric Garcia or Christensen gets injured. Then Xavi will have to start being really creative. So let's just hope that doesn't happen and that Jules Koundé and Hector Bellerin are back as soon as possible. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your own opinion in the comments down below. Força Barça and have a good day.